Arrive at Catalina Express, Dana Point Port.
We usually stick close to home on New Year's Eve, ending the year with friends at a local bar or maybe a party. But last year, we decided to do something different. After visiting Santa Catalina Island in 2022 and taking a tour of the historic Catalina Casino, we decided to return for the 50th annual New Year's Eve gala celebration held in the glamorous Casino Ballroom. A black tie optional celebration where we could ring in the new year in style. Our New Year adventure started with a bagel and lox breakfast at the Coffee Importers at Dana Point Harbor in Orange County, California. When it was time to leave, we made our way over to the dock to board the Catalina Express, a ferry that would take us to Avalon, about 22 miles south by southwest of the port of Los Angeles. The trip takes about an hour and a half, and if you sit toward the back of the boat like we did, it's relatively smooth. Though, we did take Dramamine about 45 minutes ahead of time to prevent motion sickness, just in case. When we arrived at the resort community of Avalon, it was lively with visitors wandering around the town checking out the shops and attractions. Christmas decor lingered and added to the charm. People get around either by foot or by golf cart, as cars are a rarity here. We stayed at the Hotel Atwater, a stylish historic building that originally opened in 1920, built under the direction of William Wrigley Jr. and named after his son's wife, Helen Atwater Wrigley. The hotel was recently remodeled in 2019, sits in the heart of Avalon, about a block from the beach, and has been our go-to in Avalon so far. We checked in and then grabbed some coffee at the hotel bistro before heading to our room. This is the Classic Queen room, which is a bit smaller than the Classic King that we stayed in a year ago. However, I actually prefer the open layout and design of the Classic Queen. Our room came with 2 complimentary mini bottles of sparkling wine, so we started our celebrating early. After settling in, we took a stroll around town. The pace in Avalon is slow, but there are plenty of unique shops, restaurants, and bars to visit, as well as a mini golf course, an arcade with vintage video games, and a mini bowling alley. We found a local radio station, KISL 88.7 FM, that was playing great vintage yacht rock and looks like it hasn't changed for several decades. Avalon has many hidden treasures to be found if you're looking. Time to get ready. A while back, I decided that I would like to have one proper black tie ensemble at the ready for occasions that call for nothing less. Even though my lifestyle in Southern California calls for casual dress about 95% of the time, there are still those special events that require a fella to step up and look the part. For me, throwing something together at the last minute is just asking for trouble. Weirdly, once I did have my first tuxedo, the occasions and invitations began to arise more often. It's funny how that works. If you spend some time looking into the etiquette and traditions of black tie attire, you'll quickly find that there are rather rigid guidelines to the dress code, and there isn't a lot of wiggle room for self-expression, especially for men. This is for good cause. However, when it comes to the black tie optional dress code, for better or for worse, the rules loosen up quite a bit. Add New Year's Eve to the mix and, well, pretty much anything goes at that point. But since I've been enjoying the process of refining my black tie ensemble for the last couple of years, I decided to go fairly traditional for this event. In my opinion, classic black tie isn't about standing out, impressing people, or looking fancy, rich, or flashy. Rather, it's all about showing respect for the formality of an occasion, as well as donning an elegant, if not somewhat generic look that serves as a backdrop for the real star of the show, that beautiful special someone on your arm. Looking snazzy, we caught a shuttle to the Catalina Casino, where people were already lined up, dressed up, and ready to party. It didn't take long until we found our way into the ballroom and were directed to our table. The elegant architecture of the ballroom and the festive decor made it feel as though we had been transported to another time, or perhaps into the set of a classic film from the Golden Age. We ordered up some cocktails and enjoyed a delicious buffet-style dinner and, of course, dessert. I almost never pass on a dessert. Soon enough, the music was pumping, the drinks were flowing, and everyone hit the dance floor. We definitely danced the night away and worked up one hell of a sweat. Contrary to the common use of the word, the casino has never been a place for gambling. Instead, it gets its name from the Spanish term that means gathering place. It was built in 1929, and nearly a century later, this historic icon is a reminder of the days when millions made the 20-plus mile trip across the sea to enjoy a movie, dinner, and dancing during the casino's heyday as the hub of Avalon's nightlife. Before we knew it, midnight was nearly upon us. We poured our champagne and found a good spot on the dance floor near the balloon drop. As the ballroom emptied, a small group of holdouts kept the dance floor warm. The band played on, and we boogied atop hundreds of popped balloons. And then, just like that, the party ended, and 2024 rolled along. New Year's Day, the sun was out, and the sky was mostly blue. We took a ride on a semi-submarine tour where guests can get an up-close view of Catalina Island's local marine life. For an additional charge, you get to play with a fish food feeding system launched by torpedo buttons that shoot food out from the vessel and attract hundreds of colorful fish. I've had a long-standing New Year's Day tradition of treating myself to a nice cheeseburger, so we stopped into Luau Larry's just off the boardwalk, famous for their signature cocktail, the Wiki Whacker. Highly recommended. On the journey home, I pondered what the new year might bring. I'd have to get the sweat, confetti, and glitter cleaned from my tuxedo, so when the next black tie occasion arises, I'll be ready.